Hi, and welcome to the March episode of Inside KISD Student Produced News. I'm Tate Stender.
And I'm Nicole Scroggs. Thanks for joining us.
On this month's episode, we'll take a look back at CTE month and celebrate with our Skills USA district champions.
We'll also talk about the importance of voting and early registration, hear what students are doing for spring break, and talk spring break safety with our campus safety officer. All this and more on Inside KISD.
The artistic view of the world piece by 7th grader Julian Flores of Rancier Middle School recently won a regional art contest held by the Clean Noon Lions Club. The pencil drawing of women's faces surrounding a heart-shaped formed with world flags earned first place in the art contest qualifying for the regional level. Competition composed of 46 Lions clubs, where she finished in 4th place among 16 finalists, also earning the young artist a $125 award. Starting the piece with pencil sketches and finished with markers and colored pencils, the soft-spoken student explained that she loves color and decided to draw faces of women representing varied ethnicities along with the flags of many nations to illustrate the contest theme, Journey of Peace. Juliana said, "The women of different ethnicities and the flags from different countries show we're all one and we can work together."
February was Career and Technology Month, something we here at the Career Center are proud of. I had the opportunity to speak with KCC Principal Dr. Porterfield about what CTE is and its importance to its students.
So Career and Technical Education, also referred to as CTE, provides students with job-ready skills. Students in a variety of programs here at the Career Center. We have over 34 programs students get to participate in. They actually get to do the work of the job that they're studying, whether that is one of our programs such as welding or automotive. Our students are hands-on working on cars or using a welding machine. Students in our Arts AV department, whether it's commercial photography or graphic design, are doing designs. They are taking the photographs and developing them just the way a professional would. So they're learning the skills that they need for their industry.
Wait, how does it look?
So I am an AV3 practicum student here at the Career Center. And in my department, we go out and we film videos that we are required to film. So for example, we go out and we do commercials, we do documentaries, we do little short films, PSAs, stuff like that. And we are given all these resources and this camera equipment to utilize for our films. And we also gain hands-on experience with productions and sets. So being a student here at the Career Center is very rewarding, and it's a very good opportunity, especially in my department, audio video. We have so many resources and networking available to us. We have camera equipment that is thousands of dollars that we wouldn't have opportunity to access outside of school. So being a student here, it's very, very rewarding to me. And I don't know where I would be without it.
A creative local restaurant operator with infectious enthusiasm and a heart of service attracted the attention of the Food Network as she shared her skills with a few Killeen ISD special education students. The reality television show Restaurant Impossible featured Luvina Sabri of So Natural Restaurants in Harker Heights 3 years ago, and last November made a surprise visit to see how she and her family responded to a long list of suggested changes. Along the way, Sabri connected with KISD transition specialist Tina Capito and made the decision to bring in high school age special education students to learn workplace skills. 5 days after the Food Network aired its revisit of So Natural, a group of KISD special education teachers joined Sabri and the crew, transition students for a watch party Tuesday at the Jackson Professional Learning Center. Special education students from each of Killeen ISD's 4 high schools visit the Harker Heights business monthly to help clean and to prepare, serve, and package meals. Sabri said that she fully expected to help students, but in return, they have helped her recognize the need that was in the community. The students at Crew and Sabri watched the episode together during a very emotional watch party where students watched themselves on TV.
Taking a creative approach to learning the subtleties of language, a pair of 5th grade classes at Cavazos Elementary School became surgeons for the day. In a science lab converted into 7 operating rooms, students worked in small groups to read a story about a patient's spider bite and to follow instructions on a cutout of a person. Provided by Seton Medical Center, students wore disposable gloves head and foot coverings and scrubs, and began operating on their cutout person. Cavazos teacher Megan Gordon said students got into the challenge of saving their patients, learned language art skills, and practiced working together as a team. Throughout the exercise, students followed directions in the reading, cutting, pasting, consulting maps, tables, and indexes within the project to correctly operate on their patient. With the goal of emulating how surgical teams work together, the fifth graders are practicing social skills and learning respect for one another.
Our KISD students are doing amazing things both in school and out of school and deserve to be recognized. Student journalist Josiah Keating featured graphic design student Leo Gamboa about his life in graphic design.
My name is Leo Gamboa, and I go to the KISD Career Center for graphic design. So my involvement in graphic design was actually an accident. I was planning on going to video game design, but they ended up dropping me into the graphic design class. And after graphic design 1, I just fell in love with it and stuck with it. Instead of graphic design, I would either be in animation or video game design, one of the two, mainly because I've always had a love for gaming and 3D animation as well. One of my most favorite things about graphic design is printing. I've always loved printing, and yeah, designing anything I want on the computer can be fun, but just going up, hanging posters, making mouse pads, making t-shirts, anything like that, I've always loved it. I personally don't have the means to be able to practice at home, but whenever I do have a school project that does require something like a poster board or some sort of artistic material, I usually end up working on them while I'm in graphic design, so I can use the same programs that I use in this class and help it apply to all my other classes and improve my grade as well. I've mainly gotten chosen for things like banners or some small stuff like business cards or some buttons and t-shirt designs as well. And so if there's anything with a picture on it, I usually have some sort of work inside of it in one way or another. In terms of graphic design, it's actually my current work boss because he actually runs a business and all the logos that he uses in his business come straight from him. And so I hope that one day I'll be able to do the same thing, start up a business, and have my own personal graphics at the forefront of everything.
March is Women's History Month, and to honor the influential and important women of the world, student journalist Sarnani Babbitt shares with us the life of Malala Yousafzai.
Malala Yousafzai. She was born July 12, 1997 in Mangora, Pakistan, to Ziauddin and Tour Pakay Yousafzai. As a child, she attended a school that her father taught and founded. It was an all-girls school, but everything changed once the Taliban took control of Swat Valley and attacked girls' schools. Soon after, she gave a speech titled, "How Dare the Taliban Take Away My Basic Right to Education?" And then in 2009, she started blogging for BBC, focusing on about living under the Taliban's threats to her education. She hid her identity using the name Gul Makai up until she was revealed. Her activism rewarded her with a nomination for the International Children's Peace Prize in 2011. In the same year, she was also awarded Pakistan's National Youth Peace Prize. Soon, her and her family learned that the Taliban had issued a death threat against her because of her passion and activism, although she and her family believed the Taliban wouldn't actually hurt a child. October 9th, 2015, when she was 15, she was riding a bus home from school when a masked gunman boarded the bus asking to know which girl was Malala. When her friends looked to her, it became known where she was. The gunman aimed at her and shot the left side of her head. The bullet then traveled down to her neck. She was left in a critical condition and was flown to a military hospital and needed further care, so she was taken to Birmingham, England, where she received multiple surgeries, and the shooting received massive attention from many people in support for her. In March of 2013, she began attending a school in Birmingham. 9 months later, she gave a speech at the United Nations and spoke of her focus for education for everyone and women's rights.
And that is education. This word seems a bit complex, but it simply means the right to learning. And when I come to these stages, speak at the UN, or give a Nobel Peace Prize speech, I simply ask that the right to learning should be given to every child. I ask for nothing else.
She now studies at the University of Oxford in philosophy, politics, and economics. She travels to many countries to meet girls struggling with many problems so they can be heard and fights to ensure all girls receive an equal education. I'm Tristan Haynes with Inside KISD. 95.1, Killeen ISD's voice in the community. Online at radio.killeenisd.org. Bringing you FM radio. Tomorrow's best broadcasters, today.
Speaking of empowered women, 2 KCC female welders placed first and second in the Skills USA District Welding Competition in late January, outscoring all of the male competitors and marking a first for the school having 2 female winners. Student journalists Adarius Atkins and Pierce Hammer show us what it takes to be a top welder.
I got into welding because I did 2 years of wood shop at Eastern Hills, my old middle school, and I was like, you know what, if I can do it with wood, I can do it with metal. And I was like, okay, sure. And I just kind of went for it, and it turned out to be this amazing program here. And I was like, yeah.
I got into welding from my uncle. He basically introduced it to me last year, and I was like, this is interesting. And then I figured out that the Career Center had welding, and I didn't know that before, so I wanted to try it out. And sorry about that. I ended up loving it.
I like coming in here and being like, yeah, I'm one of the best welders in here. I'm one of the only first years that's allowed to teach. So it's like I push myself to be better than I can be, and I'm always just pushing myself because I want to be better. Oh, at district, I was horrified. It was so scary. Oh, but it was amazing. It was such like a surreal feeling, like, oh my God, we're actually here. And then you get in there and it's like, we're actually here. Am I prepared? I don't know.
That was me. I felt like it didn't feel real until once you got into the booth and they placed you in there, and that's whenever the nerves hit.
Yeah.
So I was in there like just trying to breathe, and I'm just there shaking my arms because you can feel the nerves, and then finally it just like went away, and I'm like, okay, we got it. Honestly, the competition was fun. It was very challenging. It was very scary.
Yeah.
It didn't even feel like it was real until like we actually got there. No, that was just crazy.
Yeah, we had been practicing on the blueprints that were on the site, and that was actually advanced blueprints. So we walked in there and we're like, we didn't practice on pipe, we didn't do this, we needed to do this. There was so much stuff that's like...
Honestly, I think that was the only scary part.
That was like the scary part, because we're like, oh my God, we didn't do pipe. And we walk in there and they're like, oh yeah, this is your blueprint. And we're like, this is it?
And the nerves just went down.
And everybody was like yelling at us, and they're like, I swear to God, if you don't place, we're coming after you. You do this every single day in the shop. You better go in. And so we're like, we did. We did. When I found out that we took first and second, and then first through third, and first with the pit, I was at Dairy Queen because I was stressing out. So my granny's like, okay, we'll go and get ice cream. And I started crying. When I found out that we took a clean sweep, I started crying. I was like, oh my God, because my goal was to go in there and for me and Anelli to take first and second. I was like, we need to go in there and show them up, and like, yeah, we can do this too, let's go. So the fact that like we actually did it was just like, wow.
Hi, my name is Nicole, and today we're asking the question, what are you doing for spring break? So, what are you doing for spring break?
I'm going to be working a lot, and I'm also going to try to get more hours in my internship, and if I have time, go shopping a lot.
All right, so what are you doing for spring break?
I'm probably going to take a train to San Antonio.
Going to Michigan.
Michigan? What are you going to do down there?
Visit family.
I'm going to Georgia for spring break. I'm going to an aquarium and stuff like that.
What are you doing for spring break?
I'm going on a cruise.
I'm going to San Antonio.
I'm going to California.
Probably going to Houston to see family.
I'm going to South Carolina.
Enjoying my time,
sorry.
working, and if there's anything else, I'm going to enjoy it.
Well, I'm going to work, and I'm going to some college tours.
For spring break, I am going back to Pittsburgh to visit some family and spend some time with them.
Okay, so I'm here with the attendance lady. What are you doing for spring break?
I have reservations in Fredericksburg for one night with my daughter.
Probably just gonna go hang out, have a time.
I'm actually gonna be coming back from a trip to Florida the day spring break starts.
so I'm probably not going to do anything.
I'm probably just going to go to work, most likely. I mean, at the most, I'll think of something along the way.
I'm going to Paris.
Paris? What are you going to do in Paris?
I'm going to go see the Eiffel Tower, and then we're going to go like see a lot of art museums.
I'm here with Miss Rivera. What are you doing for spring break?
I'm going to be working.
This year, I'm planning on going out of town. I'm going to go visit my sister in Kingsville, which is roughly 5 hours from here in Corpus, and just enjoy my grandchildren.
Showing a fun and games aspect of learning, People's Elementary School welcomed family members of all ages to fall in love with math and science the day before Valentine's Day. In one hallway, members of the school's Science Olympiad Club showed visitors how to make a miniature helicopter out of paper and paper clips. Other stations involved making paper airplanes and tossing them through a target, an art project to make a colorful nebula, and a sink or float activity. Students also pulled out gardening gloves and dug into potting soil to plant lima beans. The Killeen ISD Mobile STEM Lab set up in the library to teach students the basics of coding and programming. And one station called on students to suit up with laundry baskets and pick up wads of foil as a lunar simulation. We want our parents to be involved in what their kids are learning, said assistant principal. The games, the weather demonstration, and the projects, she said, help students connect their classroom math and science lessons to real life.
Sights, sounds, and smells of science wafted through the hallways, classrooms, and library at Saker Elementary School during the annual Smart Kids Day. The traditional day of learning called Science and Math Activities Requiring Thinking combined classroom activities with special guest presentations and animals ranging from the cute farmyard variety to the more exotic reptilian kinds. Presenter and EHS chemistry teacher Mandy Morris expressed her love for the event. These kids are energetic and excited, she said. A group of kindergarten students watched a video about arachnids, then crafted their own from paper plates and pipe cleaners, then finally met an actual tarantula kept in a see-through container. The school's Fort Hood adopted school partner, Darnell Army Medical Center, provided healthcare specialists to present medical topics. The local mathnasium and the popular Zoomagination also served as guests, exciting imagination and wonder in the students.
Hey Siri, play my exam music playlist.
Sure.
ADAPT is an acronym that stands for Alcohol and Drug Abuse Prevention Training. It's more of a training program that it provides law enforcement officers the necessary to prevent, of course, alcohol and drug abuse among college and lower education guidance. This is a program that was established for the Texas Department of Law Enforcement Officers through the state of Texas. Impaired driving here in Texas is not tolerated, so they need to be very careful with the choices they make when getting behind a wheel. A way to stop impaired driving, of course, is to have a designated driver. Is the most very common thing to do. Also, underage drinking is not allowed, so parents need to be very much cognizant of their child's behavior. Always, if they think that a friend is going to drive impaired, please take away the keys from him. And, you know, we have all these fabulous taxis, Uber, you know, Lyft. There's other options for them to get home. Yes, there is a crisis hotline that they can use in the website for the Texas Municipal Police Association. Just drinking and driving do not mix.
With wide eyes and a distinct robotic voice, a miniature bus moves forward and back and even responds to curious students' questions. Buster the Bus has spent a busy week at elementary schools around Killeen ISD during the annual Safety Week. At Hay Branch Elementary School, the bus reminded students to arrive at their bus stop at least 5 minutes before the expected manner. Answering students' questions, transportation trainer Ken McCoy pointed out that the district's newest buses are equipped with the seatbelts, but most only have driver seatbelts. Students can stay safe if they sit properly and behave. Buster has been on this job informing students about bus safety since 1998. The current remote-controlled model is just a year old. The school also makes time for the week to address cyber safety for second, through fifth graders, reminding students to not give out personal information and to seek parent permission to access online resources. Clean ISD's annual Safety Week attracts a variety of guests, including emergency first responders, Clean Police Department patrol, and bicycle officers visited Maud Moore Wood Elementary School Thursday. Patrol officer Evan Kraus showed students features of his vehicle and reminded them to stay away from strangers, to report suspicious people who approached them at the police officers and friends. Kraus said he wanted students to know we are safe and that they could come to them for any reason.
Having just 6 hours to complete a short film from start to finish, student filmmakers Isabella Vidal and Lucas Ward placed first in the Skills USA District Digital Cinema Production Competition in late January, advancing them to state in early April, where they'll have just 24 hours to complete a short film. The film about tolerance was touted as the best ever to come out of the district competition.
So Skills USA for Digital Cinema is a competition where we have 6 hours to produce a 3 to 5 minute short film based off a prompt that is given to us.
It's utter chaos. It's a conglomerate of multiple groups from opposing teams, all coming together, working in one space separately from each other, and sort of trying to one-up the others in a filmmaking competition.
This year's prompt was tolerance, and what we did for our film was we based it off of a character who was going through a hard time. He kept getting calls from his father, and he sort of took out his anger on a girl, an innocent girl, and every time he went to bully her, she tolerated him, and she didn't get angry or show aggression, and by the end, they end up coming together and becoming companions.
Some difficulties that we faced were, I would definitely have to say, we had some computer troubles, and while we were editing, our computer just decided to update. So that took about 20 minutes, and the entire time I was just kind of praying. I had a little what was it?
My necklace.
Had her necklace in my hand.
Necklace.
It was like gold. It was like
blessed by a priest when I was little.
Yeah, I had that, and
I swear it actually started working.
It started working.
It started working,
Yeah.
and then it booted right back up, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, but what I did like was at that end shot, it was sort of split down the middle by the orange, and she was on the left, I was on the right. We're wearing completely two contrasting colors, and it sort of made like a symmetry on the screen, and it sort of represented the whole story.
I think mostly what we need to improve on is overall our story. So I feel like we could do better on that aspect, making our audience relate to our characters more and further, and being a little more creative with our ideas. So where you can watch our film and the rest of our work that we work on throughout the year is on KCC Film Class. As I mentioned earlier, we have a bunch of stuff on there, but you can find our film Tolerant by Isabella Vidal, myself, and Lucas Ward. Or
you can go to my YouTube channel at Veggie Guru Guy, and you can see the extended cut of our short film with never before seen footage and additional voiceovers.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Luke. Yeah, Luke. Do you not know how to pick up your phone? Just like the P90X, huh, in the corner of the room? Forgot how to use that, eh? I see the pounds piling up, building up, going over and over. What are we going on now, 150? 160?
Hey, are you okay?
Hatred. All I can feel is hatred. How can you tolerate me?
Drop this. That's my belief, though. To spread love and kindness instead of hate, because there's already enough of that in the world, and I feel like you feel that hate. I'm Izzy, by the way. What's your name?
I'm Lucas.
Alright. Well, Lucas, let's go.
Thank you for watching Inside KISD, a student-produced news program. From all of us here at the Career Center, I'm Tate Stender.
And I'm Nicole Scroggs. We'll see you next month on Inside KISD.